Oh my goodness, everyone, gather around because I have some absolutely earth-shattering news that's going to leave you completely speechless. The entertainment world is literally turning upside down as we speak, and trust me, you're going to want to sit down for this one. We're diving deep into what might be the biggest celebrity scandal of the decade, and it involves none other than music's power couple, Beyoncé and Jay-Z.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they live in separate.
Let me tell you, the situation between Beyoncé and Jay-Z has reached a point of no return, and I mean absolutely no return. The word spreading through every elite circle in Hollywood, and trust me, these sources are solid, is that Beyoncé has finally filed for divorce from Jay-Z. Now I know what you're thinking. Haven't we heard divorce rumors before? But let me stop you right there because this time it's completely different, and the details are absolutely shocking. The story that's unfolding is messier than a toddler's art project, and it gets more complicated with every single detail that emerges. Here's the real tea. After Jay-Z's previous indiscretions, and we all remember that drama, Queen Bey wasn't just sitting around looking pretty. No, she laid down some seriously strict rules for Jay-Z to follow. We're talking ironclad, non-negotiable conditions that basically said, shape up, or I'm taking our beautiful children and walking straight out that door. And honestly, who can blame her after everything she's been through? But hold on to your seats, because this is where things get even more intense. Apparently, Beyoncé was completely in the dark about Jay's dealings with Diddy until all those arrest details started spilling out into the public eye. Can you imagine finding out about your husband's questionable activities through news reports and police documents? I mean, the secondhand embarrassment is real. According to an absolutely reliable source straight from Beyoncé's inner circle, Diddy's arrest wasn't just another headline in their household, it created an absolute earthquake in their marriage. And that's what finally pushed our queen to say, enough is enough. The story first broke in the most dramatic way possible when that super connected Twitter page and lawyer dropped this absolute bombshell. A two for today for Jay-Z. He met with a criminal defense attorney and a divorce attorney that Sean Diddy Cole's Jay-Z. Now let's pause for a moment and really think about this. Why would Jay-Z need two different types of attorneys? The answer is sending shivers down everyone's spine because it's not just about saving his marriage anymore. It's about saving himself from something potentially much darker. But wait, because it gets even juicier, the always controversial YouTube personality Storm Monroe jumped into the fray with his own explosive podcast revelation. According to Storm's very reliable inside source, this divorce isn't just coming out of nowhere. It's been in the works for quite some time, and Beyoncé has been preparing for this moment like a chess grandmaster planning their winning move.
And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're going to see Beyonce divorce him. Okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna, their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah, 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 blah. Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they about their money first. They're gonna do what's best for business first. As far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she knows.
Now let's connect some dots that have been staring us in the face this whole time. Have you noticed how Beyonce has been working like she's trying to set some kind of world record for most projects launched in the shortest time possible? Let's break down this absolutely insane timeline of events because it's going to blow your mind. First, she went from being on what seemed like a well-deserved break to suddenly launching a collaboration with Adidas. Now yes, we have to acknowledge that the sales weren't exactly breaking records, but that's not even the point. It was just the beginning of what now looks like a very carefully orchestrated plan. In 2022, she blessed us with an absolutely incredible album that had everyone talking. Then, as if that wasn't enough, 2023 saw her embarking on a world tour that literally broke records and had cities fighting over tour dates. But wait, because that same year, she wasn't done showing us her power. She released her own movie that had everyone glued to their screens. And just when we thought she might take a breather, 2024 rolls around and bam! She drops a hair care line that had everyone ready to throw their entire paycheck at her. Then, as if that wasn't enough, she releases another album, launches a tequila brand that had everyone thirsting for a taste, performs at the Super Bowl halftime show, and absolutely kills it, by the way. And now there are whispers about another stadium tour in the works. I mean, let's be real for a moment. Who works this intensely unless they're preparing for something major? People are saying she's basically building her own financial fortress before everything hits the fan, and honestly, the theory makes perfect sense when you look at all the pieces together. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn, and trust me, you're going to need to brace yourself for this one. Remember those horrifying lawsuits that came out about Diddy and Jay-Z allegedly being involved with a 13-year-old girl? Well, something happened that had the entire internet gasping in collective shock. Beyoncé's own mother, Miss Tina Knowles, did something that spoke volumes without saying a single word. She actually liked a social media post about the lawsuit against Jay-Z. And here's the kicker. When people noticed and started talking about it, she didn't even try to backtrack or claim her account was hacked. She stood firmly by that like, and the message was crystal clear. People close to the situation are saying that Miss Tina's actions weren't just a random social media interaction, they were the result of years of pent-up anger and resentment. Why? Because apparently, Jay-Z had his eyes on Beyoncé when she was just 16 years old while he was approaching 30. The age gap alone is raising eyebrows, but it gets even more disturbing when you factor in the power dynamics at play.
Yeah, Foxy deaf. She deaf because she had the syphilis, because she never got on a venereal disease treated. Y'all should go back and talk to all of the she slept with in Philly when she was in Philly. She burned every last one of them.
If you think that's shocking, prepare yourself for what comes next, because the story takes an even darker turn when you learn about what allegedly happened with Foxy Brown. Sources are claiming that before he set his sights on Beyoncé, Jay-Z was allegedly involved with Foxy when she was only 15 years old. And the details of that situation are so disturbing that they're making people look at Jay-Z's entire history in a completely different light. The timeline that's emerging is absolutely heartbreaking because right after this alleged situation with Foxy, Jay-Z reportedly turned his attention to young Beyoncé. Now here's what makes this situation even more complex and honestly quite tragic. Beyoncé never had what most of us would consider a normal teenage life. From the moment she could walk and sing, she was being groomed for stardom, constantly working on her craft, perfecting her performances, and building what would become one of the most successful careers in music history. During her high school years, while most teenagers were going through multiple relationships and discovering themselves, Beyoncé only had one boyfriend. Her entire world revolved around her career, her family, and her dreams of stardom. This is why people are saying she stayed with Jay-Z even after the cheating scandals. He's literally been her entire adult world. Think about it. Every major milestone in her career, every huge success, every important moment has been intertwined with Jay-Z in some way.
Same. Like how? I feel like she never got to experience life with the different types of people, and the fact that he was so old, low-key, I feel like the only way she expresses herself is through her music.
Now, here's a revelation that's adding another layer to this already complex situation. A source has just come forward with information about what really happened after Jay-Z's previous cheating scandal, and it's absolutely fascinating. Apparently, Beyoncé was actually ready to walk away back then. She had her foot out the door and everything. But instead of leaving, she decided to give Jay-Z one final chance, but not without some serious conditions. According to an insider who spoke to In Touch Weekly, Jay-Z was ultimately very grateful that she didn't give up on him back in the day, and he showed this gratitude by agreeing to follow a strict set of rules that Beyoncé put in place. No more boys' nights out, those were completely off limits. And any one-on-one meetings with female talent, absolutely forbidden. They even started attending therapy sessions together and made it a priority to have regular date nights to maintain their connection as a couple. The source emphasized that these measures actually seemed to be working for a while, saying they were in a much healthier place after Beyoncé put her foot down. But clearly, these rules and boundaries weren't enough to keep Jay-Z on the straight and narrow, because whatever Beyoncé discovered about his connection to Diddy was apparently the final straw that broke the camel's back. Now, of course, there are skeptics in the mix who are suggesting that Beyoncé knew everything all along. Some are saying she's just trying to save face now that things are becoming public, but honestly, unless you're in that marriage, how can anyone really know what goes on behind closed doors? The internet is absolutely exploding with theories and speculations about what's really going on. Some people are taking a more cynical view, suggesting that this entire divorce situation is nothing more than a calculated business move to protect their massive combined wealth. As one person pointed out, and I quote, "You can't be married to a hardcore criminal for this long and don't know anything that he's doing." Others are being even more direct in their accusations, claiming that Beyoncé is just as guilty and is going to try to play the "I didn't know nothing" card. But here's what makes this situation so fascinating. We're potentially witnessing the end of what many consider to be the ultimate power couple in the music industry. This isn't just about a marriage ending. It's about the potential dismantling of an empire that Beyoncé and Jay-Z built together over decades. The implications of this divorce, if it's truly happening, could send shockwaves through the entertainment industry for years to come. So now I have to turn this over to you, because I'm dying to hear your thoughts on this absolutely explosive situation. Do you think Beyoncé is truly innocent in all of this? Or do you believe she knew more than she's letting on? Is this really the end of an era? Or is there more to this story that we haven't uncovered yet? Could this all be part of a bigger plan that we're not seeing? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to click through to watch our other video that dives even deeper into this messy situation. The tea is hot and we're here to serve it piping.